He is one of beach volleyball's most powerful men, Scott Akatubby. Injuries have clouded his career, but last week, a breakthrough. Playing with Eric Fenoy Moana, Akatubby won his first beach tournament since 1990. For Fenoy Moana, the win was even bigger, his first ever. His thanks from Ak, a phone call saying, so long for now. On the eve of the Big Daddy at Manhattan Beach, Fenoy was left looking for a partner as Akatubby tossed him over. Ak's new mate, none other than Kent Steffes. Steffes has won nearly everything in sight over the last 3 years, playing with Karch Kiraly. But with Kiraly injured, Steffes has recruited Ak in his quest for a 4th straight Manhattan Beach title. In their way, the most volatile player in the history of the sport, Tim Hovland. His new partner, of course, a smoldering Eric Fenoy Moana. Get ready for the fireworks. To beautiful Manhattan Beach, California, where it all began yesterday. 64 teams had a dream. Today, however, just 16 of those teams remain, and we will see 2 of the best today in quarterfinal action. Live volleyball on center court, an early start time here in Southern California. Crowd still filing in under cool and windy conditions for the Nestea Manhattan Beach Open. Hello again, everybody, and welcome. Chris Marlowe and Paul Sunderland. Welcome to the most historic tournament in beach volleyball. Interestingly, for the 3rd week in a row, Karch Kiraly missing in action, still down with a bruised kidney. Update us on his situation. Is he out of bed yet?
Well, he's out of bed. This morning, he's probably out with his little dog, wife, and kids strolling through the neighborhood, but that's about the extent of his physical activity. With the bruised kidney, he's had to have complete bed rest for the last 3 weeks, and just now starting to do some light training. We'll be out a couple of more weeks, and then we'll probably see him again in Chicago.
All right, Karch Kiraly's absence has created some very interesting teams. Kent Steffes is going to play with Scott Akatubby, Eric Fenoy Moana with Tim Hovland. First, what about Kent Steffes? Does he have anything to prove here at Manhattan?
Well, he says no, but this is Manhattan. And Kent Steffes says, hey, I've won with a lot of guys besides Karch Kiraly. I don't need to prove myself anymore. Well, if he wins Manhattan with somebody other than Karch, he will truly have proven up whether he wants to admit it or not. And Scott Akatubby, when you get the call from a player like Kent Steffes, regardless of whether you've won the week before with somebody else, you say, yes, sir, I am ready. Akatubby has got the best hands on the beach right now. Great setter. For the opposition, Eric Fenoy Moana. A little tombstone revenge coming his way. Won his first tournament of his career last week with Akatubby. Got dumped. This is a kid to be reckoned with all the way through the rest of his career. Great player. And now somebody who may be on his last legs, Tim Hovland, one of the greatest players of all time. He's won 5 Manhattans. He's won world championships. But this year he's finished no higher than 5th. The question is, can he still do it? Today we'll find out.
And now let's take a look at the Nestea Plunge inside look. The keys to today's match for Akatubby and Steffes. The buzzword on the beach is chemistry. Scott Akatubby and Kent Steffes have never, ever played in a tournament together. How will they fare? And of course, Ak's attack, he is the best jump server in the game. If he has it going, they will be tough to stop. Meanwhile, for Eric Fenoy Moana and Tim Hovland. Hovland's pause. Fenoy Moana needs a good set. Can Hovland set him well enough to get by the block? And Hovland can. Tim Hovland injured last week, pulled groin. He's just coming back. He trained very, very hard this week, and he wants it bad. We're at his home beach in Southern California. Tim Hovland trying to prove that he still has gas left to win a big tournament. 1 game to 15. This is quarterfinal action. One of 4 matches that will take place today. There is Kent Steffes. He sat out the last 2 weeks and was subsequently fined $2,000 by the AVP for not participating in the tournaments. You're not allowed to sit out unless you have a legitimate injury. Steffes did not have a partner, so he did not play.
He can afford it.
Tim Hovland blocked, and it's out of bounds. Point number 1 to Akatubby and Steffes.
Scott Akatubby misses 10 weeks and comes right back out on the beach last week. A dominating blocker. Everybody talks about Mike Whitmarsh, Randy Stoklos as a blocker. But Akatubby does not get the credit he deserves in that area.
Jamming at the net, and Akatubby scores point number 2. So a quick start for Scott Akatubby right there in the white tank top. And his partner Kent Steffes also wearing a white tank top, but Steffes has the blue hat.
It's fine. Here we go. Good here. Come on in.
And Hovland puts it away. So Tim Hovland, his first spike that goes down.
Akatubby and Steffes testing 35-year-old Tim Hovland right away. The usual strategy is to serve Fennoy Moana and make Hovland set the ball. One of the keys to success for Fennoy and Hov. Can Hov, of course, as you mentioned, set the ball well enough?
Fennoy Moana with the serve. And Fennoy has the dink. And Hovland puts it away.
Talked about chemistry and the ability to work together very efficiently. Akatubby and Steffes looking rough on that first rally.
Fennoy serving. He's got a great jumper.
Line, easy.
And Akatubby squirming it down the line. Scott Akatubby, one of the most interesting players on tour, is 28 years old, and his team leads by 2-1.
Good. Come on. And line. Nice.
Good placement for Hovland.
If Hovland can pass the jump serve of Scott Akatubby and Kent Steffes effectively and get into good rhythm, get in a good groove with some early confidence, this could be a very long match, exactly what Hovland and Fennoy would like. Would put pressure on Akatubby and Steffes.
Easy serve to Steffes.
Line. Come on, Hov.
And Steffes hits it straight down. Kent Steffes missing last week. He went to his friend's wedding. That's where he was. His good friend Corey Thabit got married in Laguna Beach. Part of the reason for his $2,000 fine. Hovland got it. Hovland gets the touch. Hovland, a very experienced hitter.
2-1. Either way.
There's Steffes playing in his first tournament in 3 years without Karai. On the AVP tour, he's played a couple international events with Adam Johnson.
Yeah. Line. Easy.
Fennoy got it up.
Line. Come on, Hov.
Hovland's there. Chance for a point. Not yet. Both teams not playing very well, but a chance for a point. Fennoy. Fennoy gets it.
Has winning done a lot for Eric Fennoy Moana, or what? A couple of 5-6 weeks ago, Tim Hovland dumped Fennoy Moana because he wasn't playing tough enough. But now, after he won last week, altogether a different player.
2-2 is our score.
Cut.
Right to Fennoy to take the lead. Yes. Eric Fennoy Moana intense. He and his partner Tim Hovland lead by 1. 25-year-old budding superstar Eric Fennoy Moana, Samoan descent, tremendous athletic ability, Paul.
He can cover the court, play as a blocker as well, but the key so far has been his ability to scramble and play defense, and this will really get Hovland fired up at the beginning of this match.
Scott Akatubby beams one straight down. Akatubby, one of the most powerful hitters on tour.
Side out, Akatubby, Steffes.
Last year, after the King of the Beach, Akatubby went right into the weight room and trained, lifted 6 days a week, got in great shape for the beginning of the season, and then had the unfortunate injury.
Come on, get up.
3-2 is our score. Fennoy Moana and Hovland lead. And over the top goes Fennoy Moana.
Early test. Hovland gets about a B+ on the bump set. Fennoy Moana likes a higher set. Hovland is not used to that. He's made the adjustment.
If you know beach volleyball, you know Tim Hovland. He was once quoted as saying, take the best of Rush Limbaugh and the best of Howard Stern, and you've got the Hov. Akatabi, and it's off Hovland.
And he was very careful to say the best of. Always selective. Everybody's got to get the best of to live up to the Hov.
Kent Steffes to serve. Steffes featured this week in a feature article in TV Guide, becoming very, very popular with the media. Fennoy got it again. Eric Fennoy Moana oozing with confidence, and quite frankly, he was very surprised when he was dumped by Scott Akatabi.
He was mad about it. I talked to him just a few moments ago, and he said, hey, we had just won together. I don't care what the circumstances are. I wanted to play with Akatabi again. We had just won. But he understands the business side.
1-point lead for Fennoy and Hov.
Come on.
Off Fennoy. So Akatabi is lighting it up so far in the kill department. The 4th kill for Ak. That's just a successful spike. If you haven't seen Akatabi much, he leads pro beach volleyball in earrings. He's very, very conservative today. Just a 1 diamond stud.
Good. Come on. No, enough.
Ak with a dig. Chance for the point. Not yet. Partner digs him back. Fennoy. Steffes got him.
Setting mistake by Tim Hovland. We talked about this as being such an important factor. Fennoy can't swing at this ball. It's set too tight to the net. The blocker, Kent Steffes, has a huge advantage at 6'5". Good jumper. Fennoy in the closet.
Scott Akatabi serving.
Ace! With one of the very best on the beach, Akatabi just rips the jump serve this time up the middle, can serve it from either the right or the left. Very, very dangerous weapon.
Akatabi pulled his groin in the 4th tournament of the year. He figures the pulled groin cost him $60,000 in earnings. And Hovland warms it up. So Tim Hovland, who has won 60 tournaments in his illustrious career, said he's feeling much better this week. He had to take the week off. He says, I can still win on a given day. It's not going to be like it used to be, but I can still do it.
That's good. Line.
Ak.
Come on,
Off Fennoy. Hov. Not yet.
Nobody.
Steffes is setting the ball badly on the off plays.
Fennoy. Both teams rallying.
Line.
And down the line. Steffes particularly animated today. He was jacked up to play with Scott Akatabi this week.
Well, I talked to him twice during the week on the phone. I thought AT&T was going to burn up. Steffes was so amped to play after taking a couple of weeks off. He says, I didn't know what to do with myself on the weekends. You know, you get into such a rhythm.
Steffes, his team ahead by 1, 4-3.
And line.
Hovland blocked out of bounds. So give the kill to Hovland. Good shot. And Fennoy will have it after last week's tournament in which Eric won. He took 18 friends out to dinner, had 60 messages of congratulations. He's a local boy that grew up right here in Manhattan Beach playing in front of his home crowd.
Cut.
Akatabi.
Getting back to that celebratory dinner for Eric Fennoy Moana, word was out that everybody was going to meet up for dinner at the Chart House, and people kept showing up because they knew Eric was going to pick up the tab. Probably cost him $1,000 or more.
Or more. Akatabi serving. His team leading 4-3. Quarterfinal action.
Come on.
Nice save.
Come on.
Steffes is there.
Line. Easy.
Right to Fennoy.
Go.
Caught out of bounds. Fennoy and Hovland playing pretty well here, but they're not putting the ball away when they have chances to play.
They're getting some breaks, though, and they're winning the rallies. Steffes very, very quick, covering behind the block. Ack trying for the radical cross-court angle. And right now, Hovland and Fenoy, you know, there's much more pressure on Steffes and Akatabi, the #1 seed, in my opinion. Hovland and Fenoy coming out playing much looser.
Go line! Akatabi buries another one. There's big Scott Akatabi, 6'3", 207 pounds, heavily muscled, and wearing his customary unusual and unique trunks.
Obviously, there is no mandatory, predominantly white rule in beach volleyball as there is in Wimbledon.
Fenoy hits it. And a good set by Tim Hovland. You know, talking about Eric Fenoy Moana and Scott Akatabi, they're the trunks of Ack.
You're in the way a little bit.
As Ack said, I had to play with Steffes.
Right here, you dropped something?
I asked Eric Fenoy Moana, would you have played with Kent Steffes if he had asked you? And he said, no, I wouldn't have. But I would have played with Karch Karai had he asked me. Ace for Fenoy!
A new young star on the Pro Beach Tour.
Spader. Point,
now having put his first win in the bag, just absolutely overflowing with confidence right now. Slicing off the angle, Akatabi can barely react to the ball.
4-4. They're working on Ack. What? And Ack is working the sand. Last week, there were some people that thought that maybe Dodd and Whitmar should have served Scott Akatabi a little more.
Well, after you take 10 weeks off, I mean, you're so drained emotionally and physically by the time you get to a final that Scott Akatabi was very, very tired. You're just not used to the grind of the tour and the tournament.
Come here.
Fenoy off Steffes. So Tim Hovland trying to rev up his young partner.
The rap on Tim Hovland has always been, you cannot set the ball with your hands. You set it too low, you set it too tight. Mike Dodd, his partner for years and years, could deal with that at 6'5", and great technique and athletic ability, but other players have had difficulty, but Hovland setting the ball well early.
Hovland, a 5-time champ here at Manhattan.
Come on.
Steffes dug by Hovland. Chance to take the lead. Hovland. No, he missed it.
Tough chance for Hov. He's one of the world's best on the left side, but on the right side, he's just kind of average, particularly point-scoring opportunity. He's trying to go high loopy here, does not have the same snap on the ball as he does from the left side. And nice play by Akatabi. Good court awareness.
Working on Hovland. And Steffes is there. Perfect set, and the put away. That makes the score now 5-4, Steffes Akatabi.
You could hear Fenoy Moana yelling at Hovland, angle, meaning to hit away from the block. Instead, Hovland didn't click in, hit the ball right to the defense.
Here's the serve by Steffes.
Come on. Line.
Steffes is there again.
Angle. Go, Tim.
Nice play, Hovland. Ack attack. Got it.
Here, Kent Steffes just screaming out location and instructions for the point-scoring opportunity and conversion. After Steffes sets the ball, he'll look at the defense. He's screaming line, and nobody home over there. Hovland's got to start listening to Fenoy Moana.
Timeout, take it on the sand. Ack and Steffes lead by 2. Miller Lite Cup. $750,000 will be given out at the end of the year. Karch Karai and Kent Steffes tied for first, but that will change.
That will change. There you see the top group of players, but by participating this week, Kent Steffes will stand alone at the top of the Miller Lite Cup standings, and he will take home $100,000 at the end of the year. Karch Karai will drop to second position, only take home $50,000. Oh, significant difference.
Chris Marlowe, Paul Sunderland back at the Nestea Manhattan Beach Open, presented by Old Spice. This is quarterfinal action, 1 of 4. Fenoy Moana and Hovland. Scott Akitabi and Kent Steffes, who now have seized control at 7-4.
Akitabi's third stuff block. That's been the key so far. Hovland and Fennoy Moana are able to side out for a period of time. And then Akitabi, watch what he does with his hands up and so far over the net, taking away angle against Fennoy.
And so far, the chemistry looking pretty good between Kent Steffes and his brand new partner, Scott Akitabi.
Hovland and Fennoy, they need a couple of breaks. They need to regain some momentum. Nothing would be more important to them than maybe get a hubby-wife ace right up the middle here. Hov said that they would look for that, particularly early in the match.
Yeah.
Akitabi, and he hit it out.
It didn't come off right. All right, you're here to referee. You're not here to take some sun. Wake up.
Hovland yelling at the ref.
5-3-7.
That's his specialty.
That means he's into the match. If he's not yelling at the ref, it means he's bored.
Akitabi right to Fennoy. Can he put it away? Yes.
Not a lot of good communication. There's a lot of good yelling. In other words, line, angle, the setter giving good direction to their attackers. But this time, Akitabi not listening to Steffes, hitting the ball right to Fennoy.
Akitabi drills it to the sand. Scott has won 4 times on the AVP Tour. His first win back in 1985 in Santa Cruz with his longtime friend Brent Frohoff. 7-6. Ak and Steffes by 1 in a game to 15. Hovland got it. So Tim Hovland, who comes from a family of talkers, his dad was a gold trader at one time. He had Hov at the ripe age of 50. So Hov came out a little late, but he came out. He's been here ever since. As Steffes gets the kill. 7-6, Steffes and Akitabi lead. There's the Hov.
Has not won since Phoenix in one of the great comebacks of all time against Kirai and Steffes over 15 months ago.
Ace! Steffes in the husband and wife area in beach volleyball of no communication.
Deep middle, looking at one another, nothing to say. You take it, I've got it. Nobody moving for the ball.
Steffes and Ak by 2 now.
That's usually the cross-court player's ball. In this case, it would be Tim Hovland. He's got a better view of the ball.
Hovland thunks it through. Side out or possession.
Side out.
Talk about Eric Fennoy Moana, his Samoan descent. 3 brothers and a couple of sisters. Grew up as a soccer player.
Yeah.
Fennoy, great dig. Hovland. He got it up. Stuffed. Former partner against former partner.
If you dump me, Scott Akitabi, I'm going to get you. I'm going to dig you once. Then on the crucial play, Fennoy just keeping the ball in play as the rally continues. And a little revenge right here. Dump me and you'll pay for it.
It's a 1-point game. We'll be back after these messages from your local station. Worshippers, as we're witnessing quarterfinal action, Scott Akitabi. His partner, Kent Steffes, the #1 seeded team, in tough against the #8 seed team of Eric Fennoy Moana and Tim Hovland. Fennoy and Hovland trying to catch up. Akitabi hit it out.
It's out.
And Hovland working the crowd, working the refs.
This is one of his famous home beaches. He's got a permanent parking pass right here at Manhattan Beach. Akitabi starting to have some problems as he did at the end of the finals last week, and they're serving him every ball.
Akitabi's best when he pounds it like there. Akitabi and Steffes led at 7-4, but Hovland and Fennoy have come back to tie it up 8-8. Under 4 minutes to play in this game. So Scott Akatubby, A-Y-A-K-A-T-U-B-B-Y. The name originally a Chickasaw Indian derivation.
Come on! Here you go. And fine!
Hovland rolls it into the corner. Hovland no longer the dynamic spiker he once was.
Well, you lose a little after reaching 35 years of age and 15 years of competition. Collegiately, one of the great players of all time on the U.S. national team, the most valuable player in the European professional leagues.
Akatubby, and he gets it. So Scott Akatubby continues to pound away. Once again, if you're just tuning in, Karch Kiraly has a bruised kidney and not able to play this week for the 3rd consecutive tournament. So Scott Akatubby choosing to dump his partner of last week, Eric Benoit Moana, and pick up Kent Steffes.
Your case! 2 hubby wives against Benoit and Hobb. That's the difference in the match right now. The cross-court player has the better view of the ball, but communication is so important. Look at that. Neither player, all the yelling and screaming going on after the play. You have got about 1/10 of a second to make the decision as to whose ball it will be.
And
Hovland sneaks it through. Nothing can tear a team apart faster than the husband and wife play.
But really interesting. Did you hear Hobb? He said, hey, partner, meaning Eric Benoit Moana, my fault. A month ago, Hobb would have never said that to Eric Benoit Moana. But now that Benoit has won, he's a different player. And perceived that way not only by his partner, but by everybody else.
8 serving 9 as that ball goes wide. So the serving Eric gives the ball back to Steffes and Akatubby. And Akatubby will serve. A win just a week ago. Steffes and Akatubby wails it. That makes it 10-8.
Setting mistake by Benoit Moana. Too tight. Hobb had nothing but the pokey. Steffes, nice play off the roller from the top of the tape, and then Ak unloading down the middle, taking advantage before Benoit and Hobb had a chance to reset their defense.
Akatubby with $19,000 in prize money this year. Remember, he missed 10 tournaments.
come on. Come on to me. And
nice set. And Hovland puts it away. That'd be interesting at the net between Hovland and Steffes. They played together for about a year and won 5 tournaments, so they're very familiar with each other.
Well, Steffes has won with a number of different players, as you mentioned, Tim Hovland among them, and so people say, hey, can you win with somebody besides Karch Kiraly? And he says, well, of course I can. I already have, but he hasn't done so in a while.
Steffes chunks it straight down.
Side out.
And Steffes is 4th on the all-time list with 65 wins. Won his first with John Stevenson back at Seal Beach in '89. Just turned 26 years old.
Come on. And
Hovland puts it through. You get the feeling that Benoit and Hovland need a little luck for them to pull this one out.
Well, they need a hubby wife. They need a ball hit out of bounds. What they need to do is score a couple of points back to back and really put some heat back on the new team, really, of Kent Steffes and Scott Akatubby.
go line. Here, Tim.
Right back over. Ak. Hovland. Ak. Got him. Yeah, Kia is trying to get Akatubby to shoot the ball a little instead of hit.
Try to serve him very tough and not allow Kent Steffes to set the ball with his hands. Steffes not as accurate bump setting the ball, and then you force the spiker. In that case, Scott Akatubby to shoot the ball around.
10 serving 8. Here in quarterfinal action at Manhattan Beach.
No!
That's out of here. So now Tim Hovland, who played in Italy for 8 years and has been bothered by a series of nagging injuries, but he's been jacked up for this one this week. He said, I haven't slept all week. If I get one more win here, they will consider me a god on the beach. Steffes, Hovland shoots it, score!
Point, Hovland, Fenoy-Moana.
Setting mistake by Scott Akatubby. Might see that once a tournament. I think Ak's starting to feel the pressure. Great shot deep by Hov to finish off the play.
10-9, Steffes. And Steffes hit, oh, it got the line. It caught a portion of the line, so Steffes puts it away.
Well, I think that's a crucial mistake at this juncture of the match. Steffes cranking cross court. I really think Akatubby is fragile right now, and Fenoy-Moana and Hovland missed an opportunity by not serving him.
Fenoy and Hov huffing and puffing just a bit. Weather is cool here in Manhattan Beach. Good for volleyball. Hovland!
Side out, Fenoy-Moana, Hovland.
The intensity of Tim Hovland trying to pull his team through. 10-9 is our score. Fenoy and Hov trail by 1. Akatubby right to Hov to tie it up. Hovland, yes! Manhattan Beach, live volleyball, 10-10. We're coming back. Chris Marlowe and Paul Sunderland back at the Nestea Manhattan Beach Open. Tim Hovland, he loves westerns and Vietnam movies. His favorite, Platoon. He's seen it 60 times to give you an idea of the personality and the intensity of Tim Hovland.
3 more times this week just for the fun of it.
Said The Exorcist was the scariest movie he ever saw. Said it freaked him out for about a year, maybe even longer as we look. 10-10 is our score. 2 minutes and 32 seconds to go. Hovland and Fenoy trying to upset the #1 seeded team as Steffes guides it in.
Just don't get it. They score off of Akatubby, and then Hovland and Fenoy come back and serve Steffes, who's been much more consistent so far in this match. You just can't make those sorts of mistakes serving-wise strategically when you're looking for the upset.
So Akatubby will put the ball in play in a 10-10 tie. And right call, wrong shot. Ak hits it.
Akatubby almost beheading his former partner, Eric Fenoy-Moana. Ak playing defense, center field. Here's the call. Stretched out up quickly. Have to be able to recover so fast on the beach. After you make the defensive play, you immediately become the primary spiker. Of course, there's only 2 of you out there.
11 serving 10.
Come on,
Blocked by Steffes.
Okay, and not serving Scott Akatubby was a big mistake after the 10-10 tie inside change. Kent Steffes with fresh legs after a couple weeks off and more stints in the weight room, stuffing the ball, and Akatubby and Steffes, who are as different as possibly can be, take the lead.
We'll be back. Live back at the Nestea Manhattan Beach Open, presented by Old Spice. Scott Akatubby revving it up from the backcourt. His partner Kent Steffes knew this week that he was not going to play with Karch Kiraly, so he called Akatubby and engaged him to play persuasively. Now Ak and Steffes, the #1 seeded team in the tournament. I think a lot of people were surprised, but Kent Steffes and Karch Kiraly is so much further ahead than everybody else in terms of points. Steffes could play with you or me, and we'd be #1 seed.
Well, me. You would probably be number 14.
10 serving 12. And Steffes, as Paul Sunderland suggested, very, very steady.
I just don't get it. They've been scoring off of Scott Akatubby, and the last 3 serves consecutively have gone to Kent Steffes.
So Kent Steffes, who has won over $1,300,000 in his career with the serve.
Come on.
Fenoy cranks it. Early action. action, Akitabi and Stevis led 7-4, but Hovland and Fenoy came back to tie it up at 8. Hovland and Fenoy have never led, as Stevis and Ak have pulled ahead and lead now 12-10. Fenoy serving. And that ball's on the line. So Akitabi, I guess he's used to getting a lot of serves.
Well, nobody wants to see him set the ball. He has just, as we call, the sweetest touch. The ball comes out with the same trajectory, the same pace, and a very, very consistent location. A very hittable ball.
Akitabi serving, his team leading by 2. We mentioned this was one of 4 quarterfinals being played today. In some of the other quarterfinals, the Brazilians, Anginho Loyola, will take on Brent Frohoff and Ricky Ludes. Johnson and Stokos, Bullion and Lewis, who's back. Give you the other one in a moment. Akitabi, Fenoy got it up. Come on. Back to Stephens. And Stephens high out of bounds.
Fenoy Moana with his 13th dig in this match.
Point, Hovland,
Scrambling
Fenoy
behind the block. Hobb still gets up pretty high, forces Akitabi to loopy the ball, give Fenoy Moana time to make the recovery. Double-figure digs for Fenoy.
1 minute and 43 seconds to go, 12-11. Hovland and Fenoy trying to tie it up here. Akitabi kills it. In that other quarterfinal, Wes Welch and Troy Tanner will play Mike Dodd and Mike Whitmarsh. So this is the first of 4 quarterfinals. Of course, we will show you final action tomorrow from Manhattan Beach live here on NBC as Stephens serves it.
What's the football, you? Your way.
12-11. Hovland working the rep.
That side's working, that side's not. Here we go.
Big side out right here. And Stephens is into the net.
Tim Hovland, one of the best at working the crowd, working the referee, not using his timeout to go over, adjust the line. He knows he got in his former partner's head. Kent Stephens that time.
Down by 1. Fenoy. Akitabi gently down the line.
Side out, Akitabi and Stephens.
12-11. Akitabi and Stephens by 1.
Deep pinch.
Hovland and Fenoy right now talking about the hubby-wife area. You can hear Hovland say, let's pinch. They don't want the ball to go up the middle.
Good here. Come on.
Right to Hobb.
And fine!
Hovland stumbled. Chance for a point. Akitabi. Goodbye!
Unbelievable, off the perfect pass.
Point,
And
Akitabi,
Tim Hovland
Stephens.
just drags a toe,
13,
loses his balance, steps in a big crater out on the beach. And that ends up costing his team a crucial point.
You heard the referee signal full timeout to Fenoy Moana and Hovland. We're coming back. 1:22 to play. 13-11. Stephens and Ak. Marlowe and Sunderland back live at the SD Manhattan Beach Open. Ak and Stephens lead by a couple. Kent Stephens has shown in the past that he is a very versatile player, Paul.
Well, won his first in '89 with John Stevenson, but he's won with Tim Hovland. He's won on a number of occasions with Adam Johnson, and of course Dan Verbalovich. That was over Karch Kiraly after Karch Kiraly dumped him. But, you know, Stephens is not the most popular player on tour, and a lot of the players, I think, would like to see him lose without Karch. They're saying, hey, anybody could win with the best player of all time.
So Stephens and Ak give the ball back to Hovland and Fenoy Moana. A 2-point deficit for the serving team. Ak gently inside.
Ak's gotten back in a pretty good rhythm, and I think he owes a thanks to Hovland and Fenoy Moana.
They're not serving him tough enough. They're just lobbing it right to him.
He was real fragile there for a little while, and Hovland and Fenoy Moana went away from him and went to Steffes, and Akatubby has regrouped and is passing and siding out well right now.
Steffes with the dig. No! Hovland!
Come on, baby!
Point-saving swat by Tim Hovland.
Side out, Hovland,
Great
Fenoy
dig by Kent Steffes. Hov's looking, where's he going to hit? Where's he going to go? Gets as high as he can and just swats it down.
Good serve. Steffes has it.
Here comes
Steffes is dug. Fenoy for a point. Nope, Steffes right there. Fenoy digs him again. Can he put it away? Got it! 48 seconds to go. 13-12. 13-12 here at the Nestea Manhattan Beach Open quarterfinal. You saw the time, 48 seconds to play. If you're ahead when the clock runs out, it's over. Akatubby dinking out of the reach of Tim Hovland. Steffes and Akatubby have led virtually all the way. There have been 3 ties, but Akatubby and Fenoy, or make that Hovland and Fenoy, have never been able to get ahead.
Sand timeout.
13-12. Ak and Steffes are ahead of 1. We're going to come back. A brief timeout. Stay with us. Day 2 coverage. 43 seconds to go. Akatubby and Steffes trying to hold off Fenoy Moana and Hovland. Fenoy, nobody up. He's dug. Chance for a point for Akatubby. And he's out of bounds.
Boy, everybody taking a chance to see who's going to crack in this situation. Wide open anywhere in the court, in that corridor, and this match is virtually locked up by Steffes and Akatubby.
Hovland will serve. His team trailing by 1.
Watch it.
Akatubby, Fenoy has him. Chance to tie it up. Fenoy. Akatubby. They jam. Can't put it away. Akatubby. Cracks it.
That might have been the last chance for Hovland and Fenoy Moana.
It really ran down the clock. Just 13 seconds to go now.
That rally took 17 seconds off the game clock. And Hovland and Fenoy had at least 2 good chances to score there.
So 13 seconds remain. If you're wondering if that's a lot of time, yes, 2 weeks ago, if you watched our coverage on NBC, Randy Stokos and Adam Johnson scored 2 points in 1 second to pull out a win. Hovland and Fenoy have to get one here, however. They've got to get the ball back and get the serve.
The first focus is to pass this serve. That's all they should be thinking about. Pass the jump serve accurately.
Steffes serve. Hovland, no! Akatubby!
The match started with a stuff block by Scott Akatubby. Hov disses the shirt, throws it into the audience, and maybe a little bit too late.
Trying to drag it out and trying to rest. 14-12. As Scott Akatubby and Kent Steffes working their way through this one.
5 seconds.
Akatubby and Steffes in the top half of the draw. And Steffes will serve, trying to run out the clock perhaps and terminate.
Steffes will just serve the ball as high as he can, loopy it to backcourt. If they dig it, they'll just try to keep the ball in play.
Clock is in play. Hovland, quick set, puts it away. 3.6 seconds to go.
They have to have an ace from Fenoy Moana. Their only chance is if Fenoy Moana can serve the ace, and he's the much better of the two servers between he and Hovland.
Fenoy clearing the runway for jet stream takeoff.
Eric.
Fenoy's got a great jump serve, but can he get it in? Yes! One of the great clutch serves in beach volleyball lore.
We've got a ball game. Now that they're back into it, and they're only one down, they're saying, look, we don't need to take as big a chance with the jump serve. Serve tough, but let's go back to, I think, Scott Akatubby. I'll block him. Now they're right back in this match.
14.
We're coming back. The conclusion, perhaps 14 to 13. Ak and Steffes by only one. 2 seconds to play. Pressure on Fenoy Moana and Hovland. They must score here to send it to sudden death.
No jump serve.
Akatubby for the win.
Line.
No! Fenoy Moana is there to go to sudden death. Got it!
Coin toss to see what will happen. Side or serve in sudden death. This is all possible because of the unbelievable clutch serve of Eric Fenoy Moana. Then Hovland will take credit and say, hey, I told him what to do. I told him to serve Akatubby, and we scored. Fenoy Moana now with 18 digs in this match.
And Steffes and Akatubby have led what seemed like an insurmountable lead with 8 seconds to go, slip away. Sudden death, next point wins. It's that simple. Whoever scores a point from now on wins it. Fenoy will serve, and apparently Hovland and Fenoy have won the toss, and Fenoy will serve. 25 years old, looking for the win in quarterfinal action.
And sudden death has rarely gone very long on the Pro Beach Tour.
Akatubby. Oh, he murders it. Crater! Now, Steffes and Akatubby will have game point. And Akatubby, who is considered the best server on the beach, will try to crank it up. Ak for the win.
Let's go.
Akatubby's asking Steffes who he wants to serve. Now they've made a mistake. It's Steffes' serve, and I think he will test Hovland.
We're in sudden death at Manhattan Beach. Steffes for the win.
Get on.
Hovland. Fenoy. He puts it away. What a win this would be for Hovland. 35 years old. He's won 5 times here. The 3-time world champion. Some say he's finished.
Hobby to serve.
And he will serve for the win.
The entire sport of beach volleyball has his handprint all over it, and this would be a very big win.
Confusion. Akatubby. And Akatubby sizzles Hovland's pitch. In the right guard area, hairs are still burning.
Side out. Akatubby, Steffes.
Go for that.
Akatubby for the win. We're tied in sudden death. Next point wins.
Come on in.
And line.
Hovland gently. Hovland knows this may be his last chance. Fournoy will serve for the win.
And he should crank it up. He should go for the tough jump serve.
Good one. Stefanovic in trouble. Oh, and Steffes with a beautiful play.
30 seconds has expired off the rally clock. It's only up there in sudden death to accommodate side changes.
Number 2.
Fournoy Moana about 3 inches away from a quarterfinal upset of the #1 seed. Look at this phenomenal set from 30 feet away, right on top of the tape. Hovland should have been blocking that time.
They have switched sides, as they do at the end of 30 seconds. Kent Steffes will serve for the win. 14-14, sudden death. Chris Marlowe, Paul Sunderland with you. Hovland again.
Now Hovland's listening to Fournoy Moana.
About time.
Side out, Hovland, Fournoy Moana.
Keeping the ball on Scott Akatubby. He's the one more prone to unforced errors, also a more terminal player.
Let's go.
Hovland feels that I think he can block Akatubby, either get a hand on the high roll shot or stuff the hard cross court. Hovland will serve him short, then sprint to the net to block.
Another chance for Hovland and Fournoy Moana. Steffes. Right to Fournoy. Coming up for the win. Fournoy. Moana's it. Final score in sudden death. Fournoy Moana and Hovland upset the #1 seeded team of Scott Akatubby and Kent Steffes 15-14. Our Old Spice winning moment. There were many. The final point, as we show you, the Old Spice winning moment.
Really surprised that they went to Kent Steffes and Fournoy for his 19th dig. Skying for the conversion, going right back at Kent Steffes.
It's party time. Hovland and Fournoy. Move along. All right, we got to go. Hope you enjoyed live volleyball. We'll have more for you tomorrow for Paul Sunderland, the rest of our NBC crew. The beach is now officially closed.